Brushflies, welcome back to my channel Brushfly MUA. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mercedes and I'm the face behind Brushfly MUA, and if you are new, please remember to hit that subscribe button because at 100 subscribers I will be doing a big giveaway. And if you're not new, hi, welcome back. Make sure you're subscribed because YouTube is letting people subscribe but then it's not doing it properly, and then their subscription is not working and then they have to resubscribe. So please double check that you are subscribed, and let's dive into some makeup. So the other week I decided to do a chopping a block video, and this palette from Revolution, this is the Roxi Colour Burst palette, was in that. Now I have played with this a few times and I have to admit I normally love Revolution. I collect Revolution if they bring out like a new sort of collab or makeup, anything Revolution I am interested in. Now I am quite picky, I don't pick up every single new release they do, I would be bankrupt, but I do pick out the ones that I like the look of. And this was one that I liked the look of. Now it's not a brand new release, I have had this for, it's got to be at least a year and a half. I can't remember when Roxy brought it out, but I was intrigued. It's a colourful, playful palette. But for me, I have just always found that every time I use it, it just does not work. So you've got like these pastel shades up here, the pink and the purple. Whenever I've tried to use the purple, I end up having to go into the pink and blending them together to make them work. I remember trying to do a blue look and using the dark blue and the light blue, and they just sort of blended into nothing, they vanished. So then I ended up just doing quite a simple neutral eye look, which is not me. And you know, this has happened a few times with this palette. I just think the formula is not perfected like a lot of their other palettes. So yeah, it is definitely on my chopping block. I'm gonna give it one last chance to impress me. If it doesn't, then I am going to put it towards my stash that I'm going to be decluttering at the end of the year. But you know, I do have to admit, I don't have high hopes. There was actually 3 like liquid lipsticks, and one of them was a cream which I think I gave away to someone at Christmas last year, but I kept the 2 that were my favourite. I love these. These are perfection. These are brilliant. I love them. I use them all the time. If you used to love Jeffree Star liquid lips and maybe you're not as keen as buying from him, or you like the Kylie Cosmetics ones but they don't work well for you, these are a great dupe. These are brilliant. I love them. But you know, the main focus today is on the palette because I have said in my Apocalypse video that I was going to keep the Roxi Revolution liquid lips because they're perfection in liquid lip form. But the palette, So I need to prime my eyes. So if you watched my Shop My Stash video, which of course I will try and leave a link down below if I remember, I have put my P. Louise base in just to try and use it because I tend to use like concealer. I was trained to use concealer when I was a makeup artist, so you know, I thought maybe I'll give this a go. Everyone sort of raved about this for a while, so pull it out my stash, give it a go, see how I get on. So what I like to do is I just like to dab a little bit on my hand and then use a finger and go in onto the eyelid. Now you have to excuse my nails, yes they look pretty minging, but I'm meant to be going to an event on Sunday. COVID and weather permitting, looking outside, I swear those look like snow clouds and I don't go out in the snow. So if I go to this event, they are doing like free manicures, so I could potentially come home with a nice free manicure. Hence why I haven't put any nails on, because I kind of need them to calm down after having false nails for ages. So yeah, if they look a bit minging on camera, I'm not being a weirdo. Maybe I am. So yeah, I just like to take the P. Louise base and just This is how I would apply the concealer as well. This is just how I like to do it. Some people would use a brush, but with makeup I just think, you know, do it however you feel comfortable doing it, whatever works for you. But I just like it to sit nice first, so then you've got a nice base, so when you put your eyeshadow on it's got a better chance. So you know, I need to give this palette a fighting chance. I need to give it a try and know that I haven't just fobbed it off because I didn't like it originally. And I've nicked my kids' cat ear headband. I thought it was really cute and I wanted to use it. So I'm hoping that you can see my eyes. I might just brush my fringe out of the way a little bit. And expose you to the horror that is my eyebrows. Okay, so I kind of want to go in with the purple shade just so I can show you what happens. Maybe using the P. Louise base might make it work a bit better. I mean, you know, I was trained to use concealer as a makeup artist, but maybe using the P. Louise one might help it. So I'm going to go in with the purple shade, which I believe is called Lavender. I'm just diving straight in. Shall I swatch it first? I don't know. I might play around with some of the shades and then I'll swatch it after, because I've had it in my collection for such a long time that I do remember swatching it long ago. So yeah, I think I'll change it up today. I'll play with the shades then swatch them. Okay, so as you can see, it is a barely there purple shade, obviously called Lavender. I think it is actually quite a pretty colour in the pan, but it is just so barely there. But I think it is showing up a bit better on the P. Louise base than it ever did on concealer. And it could just be that I'm a pigment snob. Like, I'm so used to playing with other palettes that, even the pastel ones, where they've got such good pigmentation, that when I get a palette where the pigment is not as bright, maybe I just, I don't know, I'm a snob. Both pigment and colour. Okay, so as you can see, it is a barely there purple. Okay, there's a shade here called Peaches. I'm just going to take the same brush, but I kind of just want to see, that's got pigment. I know I've like completely gone on top of the purple, but I just think it's such a wishy-washy shade. My eyebrows so need doing. I need to do them before I go to the event, and that's why I'm putting it off, because I want to do it as close to going to this event as possible, so like they don't have a chance to grow back beforehand. So there is quite a bit of kickback in the pan, which I don't normally mind if it's a really pigmented palette. So I might just go in with a bit of this shade, which is called Princess. You can see what I'm doing. Like, I'm not very zoomed in today. But I don't think Princess does a lot. meh. Okay, there is a pink shade here called Fetch. There is like a metallic-y blue shade. I kind of want to play with that. And I've noticed that before when I've used it, I have dampened it down. I'm just going to quickly swatch it on my hand just to see what it's like before. Got a nice pretty sheen to it, but not very pigmented. Didn't get my setting spray, which is the I Heart Revolution cranberry one. Oh, the setting spray today is making my eyes sting. Might just go back in with a bit of Fetch. And then I take this shade here, which is Constellations, on my small brush, and just go into the inner corner. Just to jazz it up a little bit. I might go in with this blue shade, Blue Lagoon. Okay, under my lash line. Okay, so it's a bit of a crazy eye look. And I think the peelery base has helped. Like the peachy or peaches tone, Fetch. The other colours have actually played quite well. Princess didn't really do very much on the brow bone. But you know, I already had peaches there, so it's not horrendous. This shade Sky actually looks really nice dampened down. Blue Lagoon has worked, but I do know that if I try and blend it out, like if I put it in the crease and try and blend it, it doesn't play. Tiny bit of fallout. I think I'm going to put some mascara on, and then I'm going to come back and have a good hard think about what I feel about this palette, because I know I have really struggled with it before. The lavender shade is pretty much non-existent, but I have put other shades on top because it was very wishy-washy. I didn't like that. So yeah, I need to have a think. Okay, so I'm back. This is the finished eye look with some mascara. I do have to say, I do quite like the eye look. I feel it fits this cat ear, but I still don't 100% love this palette. I think if you have it and you love it, I can kind of see why, because you can create some really nice looks if you work hard and if you put a real good base down, then I think it is a good palette. But for me, I just have others in my collection that work so much better and are more me. And I have decided that this year, or at least towards the end of this year, I need to be a bit more, I don't know, what's the word? A bit more, if I don't need it, I need to get rid of it. Because I only live in a small house, I share it with my husband and my children, 4 mice and 12 fish. I need to not keep stuff that I'm not going to use. It just seems a bit silly to keep palettes just for the sake of keeping them, just so I can refer back to them. But if I'm not going to use them, it seems silly them sitting there. And I definitely think, although it has worked today, yes, the shade lavender did not. It's too wishy-washy. Yes, I have used other colours to create a really nice look, but I don't love it. In my heart, I look at this and I don't love it. Like this shimmer shade Sky is very, very pretty, but I have noticed that I've used a setting spray, which I have used with many other palettes, and it's sort of cracking a little bit, not horrendously. I don't think it's going to fall off my eyeball, but it's not the best formula. And I think if I truly love this palette, I would want to keep it. But I do want to say, if you have this palette and you love it, then that's great. If you can create some really good looks and you love it, I think that's great. And I think Roxi has done a good thing in like her colour selection. Her colour story is nice. I do like the look of this. Obviously I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't. I love colourful eyeshadow palettes. I'm not really a neutral eye look person, but this to me, it just doesn't work how I want it to. And I think if I was to keep it, I would be fooling myself. I would be keeping it just for the sake of keeping it. So I think I need to declutter it. It's not horrendous. There are a few shades in here that I know don't work for me, but they might work for you. I am going to quickly swatch it just so you can see it swatched, and I am also going to look back through my photos from like last year or the year before and see if I can find photos of me using this and what eye looks I came up with and whether they were any good. So I have swatched it. You can tell it's getting close to lunchtime because brain is just not computing. Okay, so that is, yeah, and yeah. They don't swatch great. I mean, that is the shade Princess that I put in my brow bone. Didn't swatch at all. Then we have the lavender shade. They didn't swatch great. I mean, I'll hold it up to the screen. I can't really be bothered to read out all the names, but you know, you might be able to see kind of. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be decluttering it. It's definitely not my cup of tea. I don't think it swatches very well. Although the eye look I have created today I do like. I have other palettes that I can create this eye look with that would be better, and I have done it better. So yeah, sorry Roxi, this one is not for me, but I do think it is a nice looking palette, and I think if you have it and you love it, great. But I don't love it. So yeah, that is this video done. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and remember to hit that subscribe button. And do you have this palette? Do I have a dud? Does this work better for other people? Like, do I have like a crappy palette and everyone else's works fine? Let me know in the comments down below because I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But for me, this one is going bye-bye. So So I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.